The cafe on Proxima Station hummed with the usual evening crowd, a mixture of species from across the galactic commune, sipping synthesized drinks and nibbling on imported delicacies. But Eleanor sat alone at table 17, nervously adjusting the collar of her best dress for the 100th time. She wasn't used to this. Blind dates, alien stations, being light years from Earth. Eleanor had come to Proxima 3 months ago, opening a small bakery that specialized in human pastries. The venture had been surprisingly successful. Apparently, the galaxy had never tasted proper sourdough bread or chocolate croissants. Her little shop, Eleanor's Earth Oven, had become something of a sensation among the station's diverse population. It was Jasper, her supplier and the only other human on the station, who had set up this date. "You need to get out more," he'd insisted, grinning that maddening grin of his. "Eleanor, you can't spend your whole life covered in flour. Besides, she's perfect for you, successful, kind, and she loves your cinnamon rolls." Eleanor checked her communicator again. 30 minutes late. Her date, a Dracarian diplomat named Seraphine, hadn't sent any messages. Maybe this was a mistake. Maybe, "Excuse me? Are you Eleanor?" She looked down, way down, at 2 small figures standing beside her table. They were Dracarian younglings, their scales shimmering in iridescent purples and blues under the cafe lights. They couldn't have been more than 7 or 8 in human years, with delicate wings folded against their backs and large, curious eyes staring up at her. Yes?" Eleanor managed. "Our mother said to find the nervous human lady at table 17, the taller one announced with the blunt honesty of children everywhere. "She said you'd be the one checking your comm every 5 seconds and looking like you wanted to disappear." Eleanor felt her cheeks burn. "That specific." "Mother's late," the smaller one added, climbing uninvited into the chair across from Eleanor. Her sister followed suit. She got called to an emergency council meeting. Something about the Krellian ambassador threatening to eat someone again. "She says she's very sorry," the first continued, "and she sent us to entertain you until she arrives. I'm Zara, and this is Lyra." Eleanor blinked. This was not how she'd imagined the evening going. "Your mother sent her children to entertain her blind date?" "She said humans value family," Lyra explained seriously, "and that you'd either find it charming or run away screaming. If you run, we're supposed to report back on your speed and whether you knocked over any tables." Despite herself, Eleanor laughed. It started as a nervous giggle but grew into genuine amusement. "Well, I'm not running yet." "Good." Zara brightened. "Mother said you're a baker." "What's a baker?" And just like that, Eleanor found herself explaining her craft to 2 fascinated little dragons. They'd never heard of kneading dough or proofing yeast. The concept of waiting for bread to rise seemed to mystify them. "But why not just synthesize it?" Lyra asked, tilting her head. "Our food printer can make anything in 30 seconds. "Because," Eleanor said, warming to her subject in a way she never did with adults, "baking isn't just about the food. It's about the process, the way flour feels in your hands, the smell of bread rising. It's human, I suppose. We do things the long way because the journey matters as much as the destination." Zara and Lyra exchanged glances. "That's weird," Zara pronounced. "Weird in a good way," Eleanor asked hopefully. "Maybe. Tell us more." For the next hour, Eleanor taught 2 young Dracarians about the strange human art of baking. She explained how her grandmother had taught her to make pie crust, how the secret to good cookies was slightly underbaking them, how bread was somehow both science and magic. They told her about their mother, how Seraphine worked too hard, worried too much, and hadn't been on a date since their father died 5 years ago. How Jasper, that meddling human, had convinced her that she needed to live a little, and that the human baker was lonely too. "We picked your cinnamon rolls for breakfast every Saturday," Lyra confided. "Mother pretends she only likes one, but she always eats 3 when she thinks we're not looking." Eleanor grinned. "I always make extra for Saturday mornings." I wondered who was buying them all. A commotion at the cafe entrance made them all look up. A Dracarian woman rushed in, her deep purple scales catching the light, her expression harried. She was stunning, tall and elegant with golden eyes that scanned the room anxiously until they landed on table 17. "Girls," Seraphine hurried over, her wings rustling with agitation. "I am so sorry." The meeting ran. She stopped, really seeing Eleanor for the first time. Her expression softened. "You stayed." They're good company, Eleanor said, nodding at Zara and Lyra, and very honest about their mother's cinnamon roll consumption. Seraphine's scales flushed a darker shade of purple, a blush, Eleanor realized. They told you about that? We tell her lots of things, Zara announced proudly. So many things, Lyra agreed. Seraphine looked mortified, but Eleanor reached across the table and touched her hand, scaled and warm and slightly trembling. I think it's charming that you love cinnamon rolls, that you sent your daughters because you knew I'd be nervous and they'd break the ice, that you're here at all, even after what sounds like a terrible meeting. The Krellian ambassador didn't actually eat anyone, Seraphine offered weakly. That's always a plus. They stared at each other for a moment, and Eleanor felt something shift. This strange, awkward evening had somehow become perfect. Jasper appeared from nowhere. He had a talent for that, sliding into a spare chair with a triumphant expression. So, how's the date going? You set this up, Eleanor accused. I facilitated interspecies friendship, he corrected. How was I supposed to know our favorite diplomat and our best baker were perfect for each other? You literally told me that yesterday, Eleanor said. Did I? Must have been the universe speaking through me. Zara tugged on Eleanor's sleeve. Does this mean you'll teach us to bake? Mother's terrible at it. She burned water once. That's an exaggeration, Seraphine protested. You burned water. Mother. Seraphine looked at Eleanor helplessly, and Eleanor felt her heart do something dangerous and wonderful. I'd love to teach you, she said. All of you, if you'd like. Later, when Jasper left and the girls had been convinced to give the adults some privacy, Seraphine reached across the table and properly took Eleanor's hand. I should have been on time, she said softly. You sent me your children. That took more courage than being on time would have. Jasper said humans appreciate grand gestures. This human appreciates honesty, Eleanor said, and families, and people who eat 3 cinnamon rolls when they think no one's watching. Seraphine laughed, a melodic sound that made her scales shimmer. I suppose we're doing this then? The shy human baker and the overworked dragon diplomat? I think we might be. Outside, the stars of Proxima wheeled overhead, indifferent and eternal. But inside the cafe, something small and precious began. The kind of thing that happened every day across the galaxy, but never stopped being miraculous. 2 people finding each other. Taking a chance. Building something new, very human, very dragon, very much worth the wait.